is back. Sorry about the pause. I have storage issues, so it doesn't let me make videos longer than like a minute. Um, but today we're here with the longly awaited Touch Times Nautilus V2 clone review. Uh, as I touched on for the first impressions, um, this is, Touch Times Nautilus V2. I had the V1, I had 10 pins. They changed to hidden Zen pins. Uh, I'm not sure what the steel is. I think it's hardened. I'm not entirely sure. Even if it is hardened, it's pretty thin, so don't act like it's invincible. Um, the G10 is pretty like cheap, like Amazon G10 that you find. 6061 aluminum. The screws are all T8, which high key sucks, but it's fine. Um, First, I'll talk about materials, fillability, um, and then probably the value. Um, Materials, I think these hold up pretty fine. I've dropped this thing a few times on concrete, and it's only gotten a couple scuffs. Don't mind the purple and like this extra stuff on the G10. I did that sunset painting on it, but the thing kind of tanks it, like surprisingly so. Um, I haven't had any tolerance issues at all. It sounds okay. I mean, it sounds like it's quiet, sounds cheap, but it doesn't sound like horrible or anything. Um, the hardware holds up surprisingly well. I unscrewed this thing about once to see if I can switch the washers onto something like, let's say, higher quality. But this thing is on floating washers, so the bushings are just above the average length, which kind of sucks. But I Loctite the two pivot screws, and this thing hasn't like it hasn't moved since. So while it does hold, as long as you're not beating the hell out of it and you're Loctiting it, if problems do happen, it's not good because again these are T8 screws, and those strip easily, and then they ruin your hardware they ruin your tools because the hardware is so bad and low quality. I've had no issues with these two end pivots. The G10, I wish it was just like a little thinner. I don't know if this is like the exact measurements of a Nautilus, but sometimes it feels like the handles can be a bit bigger than I expected. Of course, they're still small handles, but I expected, for some reason, I expected smaller. And as for the blade, it's thinner than I remember. But it's been a while since I've had my Nautilus, so I'm not like too like judgy picky on that. The flippability, this thing's been very consistent lately, except when I like ruined it with the paint. It looked really cool, but it didn't last, and that's because it made the outside of the handles like sticky and uncomfortable, which is why like the following day I just scraped it all off. It's a, I said light handle bias last time. I'm sort of sticking to that. If anything, it's not, I'll just say it's regular handle bias. The handle has a lot more weight than I thought it did. So of course it's a god at rollovers. Sometimes fans can be a bit short or cut short because of the extra handle weight, and I think that's because of how big or how small or thin the blade is. It doesn't really carry much of that much weight at all, but luckily you're working with G10 handles, so it's not like incredibly handle bias. So yeah, it's really good at doing rollovers, but fans sometimes like it's a little wonky. This thing, I hate it. I think this is just a Nautilus like thing. This by handle indicator. Sometimes it gets caught on my nails when I'm doing the whip around. I think this one. Yeah, that. I mean, it's a good indicator because it does stop me from using the bite side. but sometimes it ruins the tricks or prevents me from performing them. But overall, you're getting a good flip for, what I say, like 30 bucks? Yeah, for 30 bucks. I did say earlier that I didn't really like the handle thickness, but honestly, if you get it, you'll live. Like, it'll be fine. It's not that big of an issue. I'm just kind of picky. The Gimping, it works. I just suck. I can't do ladders, so yeah, I literally can't get past like 2. But it works, and it's not like cut out. I think the V3 Nautilus, I don't know what one are on right now, but it doesn't protrude. The aluminum only has a Gimping, the G10 doesn't. Not that there's an issue, because the G10's grippy anyway, so you're still pretty much getting the Gimping that you would expect. This thing's a god at holding chaplains. Good at aerials. This thing flies because of how lightweight it is. What an L. So for the value, I would say this is a pretty good grab. It does, after a while, you remember that this is a clone, and the quality doesn't feel as good as you expected it to be. But then again, this is Touch Times. This is a very small, probably one of the less worth it clone makers. They care less about the product, I think. I don't know. They use like cheaper materials for certain things. It's no Titus, Armshark, Bally Plus like that. They don't even have a mark anywhere on the Bally. It's labelless. But for the $32, I think that's what it came with shipping. This is a good grab, and I can see this lasting me a lot longer than the last one, because the main reason I got this is because they fixed the issue with the tank pins. With Squid, I think they use stainless steel, and then the aluminum 7075, so it's a bit stronger. But for the other Touch Times, the V1 Nautilus, the aluminum was 6061, and then the tank pin was like 2 times the size as the one that Squid uses, and it was like a cheaper stainless steel. So the handle the handle cap was like deteriorating really fast. But for this, it's just stainless steel on stainless steel. So it won't get any worse. I might do just one more follow-up video, because I have some reason to believe that something might go wrong with this. And I don't want to leave you guys on this little cliffhanger. But I want the best of the reviews to get out for this thing, because not many people are getting it, I don't think. Not that anyone should. I mean, I definitely, depending on what you want, if you like the look of a Nautilus and you can't afford a Nautilus, get it. Like, this is really good if you just want a Nautilus. However, as for, let's say if you're a beginner, I would also get this. This is cheaper than a lot of the beginner balisongs that people recommend. Like, it's 10 bucks cheaper than the Impulse and the Volp. But if you're like an intermediate or like slightly advanced flipper, I'm not sure this is the one for you, considering if you are, you probably already have a decent collection filled up with balisongs that line up with your preference. But if you want a cheap G10 Bally, then yes, get this. I don't think I have anything else to say about it. It's good. I like it. I'm gonna like this for a long time, considering I was waiting to get another G10 balisong. But yeah, that was on purpose. I didn't mean to catch that. I didn't want to. Yeah, if I don't want it, I'll hit you guys with a giveaway. soon if I end up don't liking it. Not that I won't, but just the off chance. Maybe after like a year or something. Yeah. This is the Touch Times V2 Nautilus review. Oh my god, I can't fucking get my jitter fingers. Yeah, it looks ugly because of paint, but that's it. Yep, the review. I'll put the link to buy this in the description if you're interested. And I'm sorry if the price doesn't line up to what I said. But as for this video, that's about it. Peace.